Hi Mum. So some things have happened in the last little bit since I did an update on the car. I had surgery on my back, so I haven't been able to do anything. The car's sort of sat around over the last year and a half or two. I've done little things on it, but nothing serious because just everything's been getting in the way. Now that I'm coming off the back surgery, I'm starting to feel better. I'm trying to sort of work towards getting this bad boy on the road so I can drive it. Now the problem is, when you're on your back, you've got a lot of time to not do anything except think about things. So stuff that maybe you overlooked before comes to the front of your mind, and you start thinking on it, and you get to having either bad or good ideas, depending on which way you look at it. But either way, it's going to mean a bit more work, but I think it needs to be done in this case. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So one of my mates said I needed to get some editing and a cool intro, because if you've got a YouTube and you do car stuff, that's what you need. That's the rules. So here I am. This is my sick intro, and I'm recording this after the other stuff I did about the gutters, and I'm gonna, using the magic of Technologicals, edit it in beforehand, and the people will never know. Might do a drum beat or something. That'd be sick. So on my car, I have made this lovely line here. The original join in the panel is here. It's been all welded and smooth, and this is a new line that I put in to sort of create a bit of a body line to tie in my custom back window. Now the problem I've got is just here. Now this isn't finished, so obviously paint would change this a little, but where this comes down, it's sort of it's on like a almost, it's very close to perpendicular with this nice body line I've made. And I was eyeballing in Cruising Magazine, I think it's a Caddy, and the back of the Caddy, this comes down and just kicks out a little bit, and I sort of went, ooh, that looks nice. Now I don't have to change anything in here. All that blackout area can stay the same. What I'm going to do is lay a bit of tape out, see where I could get this to. If I could get this line to be uninterrupted and have the gutter actually just sort of curl out and then just stop above it, which is what happens in the Caddy I think I looked at, then I think it'll look a whole lot better. So that's just a little bit of tape, sort of where around about I think it should run. Coloured in the rest of the tape in black, so it sort of looks like a blackout. I think something like that is going to look much better. The biggest problem I have is that this means firing up the grinder and the welder to get it done. I think it'll be worth it. I'll only need to cut off I need to cut off down the bottom here and maybe about here. I think around about here. And even if I can flip the piece left to right, right to left, and just see how it sits. If not, I'll just make an entirely new piece. But I pretty much want to follow this curve down, and then at the last little minute just kick out. And it's only the difference in width of that, like the same distance as the gutter. You just shift it across and just do the curl out. It just looks heaps better, sort of continuation of the line, and generally I think it'll make this body curve that travels through look a whole lot better. Just follow that there. Car's absolutely filthy. It's been sitting here doing nothing for ages, so I don't know what the fuck's going on there. Focus, there we go. Looks like I've got a bit more work to do. Yeah, recording in the dark. So I made some marks, put some tape on about where I think I'm going to cut this thing off. But if we go around the other side of the car, decided to make my cut just a little bit higher. So you can see there I'm about one mix palm width up this, because I just feel like this little curl here, look, the the gutter just curves a bit more, starts curving a little more aggressively here, and I'm not sure if I want to come back up here to start my transition. So what I'm going to do is chop that off there and here, get rid of all that, and then make a bolt-on piece to replace it. And so the bolt-on piece will just mate up to that with a tiny little seam. So I suppose similar to, like if you look at the corners here, that looks nice and neat, but underneath that is a bucket of shit. So it's a good way to hide things. They did that a lot in old cars. So I'll just do that and either make it out of a big chunk of alley or maybe some steel or some other shit I've got around. Put some posts through with some holes and, you know, run like a rubber gasket behind it or something like that and just bring it all out. But the main key is I want to keep this little curve here. I want this curve the same all the way through. I want that to run through underneath without this. Like you can see, because of everything that sort of disturbs that line right at the wrong spot. So I'm thinking if I can eliminate that, it'll be a bit nicer. We're about to find out. Anyway, I'm about to fire up my favourite tool in the entire universe and cut that off. It's going to be a bit of a pain in the ass because I'm not sure you know how bad it is under here, what I've got to do to get that out. I can't remember. It was a long time ago that I was welding one thing to the other thing. Hopefully there's not too many issues, but if there is, I'll just make the piece to accommodate for those. If there's any difference in height between this curved round bit of old door that I cut up and the flat bit of R31 roof that I cut up, then there's going to be, I'll just have to make the piece with a step in it or whatever to accommodate for that. Won't be a problem. Okay, so she's all ground off. I've gone through just to that layer of filler in a couple of places. Nothing too serious. I'll put some dye mark on this just to protect it while I'm fudging around, but I need to get all this tape has to come off so that I can lay a spline along that line and make sure I get this correct. And if it needs to be brought down at all anymore, like you can see there's metal here that might be proud, because that's the bit where I welded the last piece of this to the side. I guess I'm deep into it now, there's no going back, so that's something. Okay, so got a little bit of body work done, got my line complete. You can see the reflection of it running through there. Looks really good. I think I'm going to be much happier with this. There is a little step down to the door frame, and that's because this has a curve on it like that way, as well as that way, but less of one. And this is made up of bits of door frame, and it is like it's on a flat plane because the glass on the EH is flat. So when I made the bowed sides made up with the window, I used the gutter as like a way to get the levels different. So I'm going to have this little bit of, see there, just a little step down there. But I mean, I'll make my piece of, I think it'll be aluminium. I've got some in the shed, so I think I'll make a piece that comes down here. And what I've got to do is pick a point of inflection where it comes down and stops curving this way and starts to curve that way. And then I think what I'll do is I'll just tuck the edge in to meet the top of that line there, that hard line where the bow stops and goes up. So I think that'll look really good, and it'll keep this line going all the way along. I don't have any red undercoat, unfortunately. I've got some on order, so I might give that another coat when I get here. Okay, here we are. Shaped a little bit of balsa to be pretty much, I think, what I want, or close. That's 6mm thick balsa. You see it's sort of flush with this edge of this surface here. I think I need to bring the middle of it down a little bit, just thin it out. And then this edge here matches this curve. And this edge here I'm just going to bring down and then just kick out a little. I think I might leave this wide at the bottom. Looks kind of cool. Try and see. Got more balsa, I can always build more stuff. think we got a winner. I just kept removing bits until I was happy with it. It's sort of flush. You see this end here actually tapers down and then rounds off, which sort of fits with the rest of the car. Think about the bottom corner of like the trim, the rear trim on a sedan. Nothing really sort of, you know, bulges out like that on the car. So it's probably better that it does it this way. I think that'll look good. Best bit about this is if I make them and, you know, so I sort of paint the black, I'll paint the black right into here and then bring the black around here, leave the top of this red and just line it up to join under that, so red can go sort of along that line to there, and then, you know, I can put whatever I want over the top if it's mounted with little bolts through the whole car. A bit of rubber gasket, if I can change it as many times as I see fit, which is probably what I'll end up doing, but I need something in place there now. So this is a bit of timber. I'll just remake it in alley, and then it can get painted the same to match this whole spot. Right, I think that's it for this one. I'm not going to do the aluminium for a while, so I'll just build this into a video and leave it. See ya!